What up, y'all? It's your girl, Candy J, with another episode of Candyology. I have a great show for y'all today. We're talking about living that LGBTQ life. What up? But first, I got to introduce you to my guest. What up, Cookie? Oh, I'm sorry. Wait. Y'all, I know her as Cookie, but her name is B. What up, B?
What's up? How y'all doing? Good to be here today. I appreciate you inviting me to the show. I'm B, and I look forward to talking to y'all about several subjects. Kick it to my homie Kayla.
What's up? Yeah, my name Kayla, but I prefer Lulu. You know what I'm saying? And hey, I'm an open book, so it's whatever today.
Okay, so it's gonna get a little real out here. So I'm
Daz.
So I'm Daz. I know Candy's gonna ask a lot of questions, so I'm ready. Let's go.
You ready?
We ready.
So I shouldn't have any viewers that don't know, but we gonna pretend like they're dummies today. No, I'm kidding, y'all. I know y'all know this. LGBTQ. What does it stand for, people? What does it stand for?
Lesbian. Give me
Gay.
Transgender.
Yeah.
Bisexual.
And queer.
Questioning and queer. However you want to put it.
Right. I like that. Why do you think that way?
Because
questioning.
Well, a lot of people don't know, so they're trying to figure it out. So if you're trying to figure it out, you question it.
I like that answer.
Get it together.
Get your life together. But do you have to get it together though? I mean,
it just depends. For me, I just go with the flow of whatever I want to, kind of much. But everybody's different, you know.
Gender fluid.
Gender fluid.
People just freaky.
It was like, you know,
just
freaky.
So we got all these acronyms, right? So what do y'all identify as?
So I'm gay, clearly.
Lesbian, gay. Whatever you feel comfortable saying, pretty much. Just don't be disrespectful.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that in a minute.
Right.
What about you, Lil?
Lesbian, people stud all the time. I get it. So
right.
I'm not gonna argue.
So, but how do you feel? Do you prefer a label? Like, I know some of my friends, they prefer special pronouns. You know, one of my butch friends, and instead for he, it's better be he. And I'm like,
oh yeah,
baby.
Like bedroom wise, probably that, but not on a normal term basis with everybody else. But the person I'm messing with probably want them to treat me a little dominant, but.
Dominant.
Okay. So are we considered ourselves a stud?
Yeah, most definitely.
Oh, okay. Stud.
Bottom. Well, let me clarify that. Bottom who loves ass. There's a difference.
Wait. Explain the difference.
So I'm a bottom, so I like to take dick. But I love ass, and I think the older that I get, the more I like ass. So.
What kind of ass? What do it need to look like?
Good apple shape.
Okay.
Rotund.
Wait. We pulling out the UTA degree, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
There we go. Hey, we paid for it. We might as well use it.
Thank you.
Listen, I'm still paying them, so yeah, I'm gonna use it.
So, given what the topic is today, so my first question is, when did you know you were gay or lesbian?
Oh man.
Whoever wanted to take the question first.
When I was young, a lot of the girls used to talk about how the dudes look and stuff, and I was like, you. Like, that's how I feel. But I think I knew for sure probably when, 6th, 7th grade or something, for sure.
So never like boys.
No, people always tried to force me into crushes, but nah, it was more of like, oh, he got a nice build. I wish I was built like that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's really where it come from. But yeah, for sure. It's just like, I guess, a dominant thing. On some levels, you kind of be treated like a woman, but on other levels, like, hey, like I'm here.
That's sweet. Yes. I love it. What about you?
I had my first sexual experience with a girl 5th grade, and so I mean from there it took off. You know? I've always been tomboyish. Like I never loved the skirts, none of that. When I went to McDonald's, I wanted the boy toy. I ain't want the little girl toy. Like it's always been. Hey, I want someone who got the same body parts as me.
So this 5th grade, this was 19 what?
What?
19 what? Do you remember?
I was 2000.
Oh, you were young, baby. Wait a minute, Lulu, how old you?
22.
Oh! Okay, see.
I'm legal though. I'm legal.
Okay, so 37. So I'm going to refer to everything as 19 something. Yeah, so let me get my head. Let me go back to my head. Hold on. 2000 what? When was this?
I can't even think that far back.
Okay. Well,
we know it's 2000 something.
Right. The reason I'm asking because 5th grade, that's kind of young. So Can you tell us what this experience was like?
Man, so it started off. It started off as a typical playing house. You know what I'm saying? She was like, I'm gonna be mommy and you're gonna be the daddy. Mm-hmm. And so we started off playing with the dolls, and then somehow she was like, close your eyes. And so she started taking my pants off, and we started scissoring. And so from there,
hold on. Wait. For those people that don't know what scissoring is, what's scissoring?
Bumping coochies.
Exactly.
So something like this.
Yeah.
Something like this.
Leg between each other, leg.
And so prior to this, though, I should not even ask that question. Yeah. So prior to this, though, I mean, how did you know that you liked that feeling, or did you know that you liked that feeling?
I've never really just been strongly attracted to guys. I mean, even with friends and stuff. Dudes came on to me, and I just be like, nah, you know what I'm saying? And so when she came on to me, I was like, hell yeah. I don't know, something that clicked, and I was like, shit, hell yeah, let's go.
So you had to be what, 10, 11?
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you was
When did you know?
So I think I've always known, since I was a little boy, I knew I was different from all the other boys. I think I started my attraction for boys really early as well, probably junior high-ish as well. So yeah.
Junior high-ish. See, that's a little bit older. But you didn't have an inkling of feeling before that?
I've always known I was different. I never did the typical gay guy stuff, like playing with dolls, dressing up, in mom shoes or something like that. But I always knew that I was different. I knew that I was a little bit more feminine than the other guys. I wasn't into sports and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah. But I dated girls all through high school, junior high. I dated girls, but it never did seem right.
So have you ever slept with a girl?
Yeah, I slept with girls in high school and also in college.
So what was the difference for you?
Really? It's pretty clear though. So it just didn't seem comfortable, with a girl.
And I'm talking about feelings. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with a girl, it just didn't really feel right. Just guys, it just felt right.
So that's my question for y'all. Have you ever slept with a man?
Yes.
And what?
I ain't like it. I ain't gonna stunt. I've been fucked by females, and it's the arousal is just so much more than when I had the experience with a guy. It wasn't no connection, and I knew him. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't it was just a shit. Fucking, I'm finna try it with anybody. I actually knew him. I've known him for years actually, and then what I'm saying, we took that next step, and it just wasn't. I had to go and put him on the block list after that.
Wait a minute. So, and you said no, you've never slept with a man ever.
No. I thought about it at one point just to be like, hey, am I really gay? But then as I got older, I was just like, nah, I'm really not. And I'm not going to be pressured to other people to be like, well, how you know if you really gay if you never try? Because I've always been attracted to women.
So my next question is going to come back to this conversation. But so how did you discover clit? How did you discover the feeling of your penis? How did you discover these things?
Man.
Man.
You go ahead.
Well, shit. I started, masturbating at an early age too. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I started playing with myself at a real young age, and after that first feeling, I was like, okay. I like that, and so, that may be why, I like having sex with females so much, because it's like, I know what I'm feeling, so I know you feeling the same way.
There you go. What about you?
My first sexual experience was kind of like all of a sudden, like high school, dropping off a friend from school. It was like really weird. But once the first time, I was just like, bro, like, where you at? I gotta get it again. So once you get your first dope, it's like,
but you said that was a sexual so with someone else, right?
Yeah, that was.
But when did you decide that?
I didn't ever really. I've always been like a kind of as an adult getting comfortable with sexuality. Mm-hmm. So I didn't probably really start masturbating till I was an adult, and I was just like, I'm not getting none right now. Well, let me see. Everybody be hyping it up, so I'm gonna try it, and it was kind of better for myself. Then it was
shit.
I do better than everybody else. I know where to go.
Right.
So.
Listen, masturbation. Masturbation started really early, probably about 5th grade, 6th grade. But surprisingly, when I did masturbate, it wasn't like with guy thoughts. It was like with girl thoughts. So it was really weird, but yeah, 5th grade.
Let me tell y'all about my little experience.
Yeah, let us. Yeah.
So I knew I was a little boy crazy when I used to try to kiss little boys at the daycare. I had to be careful with what I said. At the daycare, you nap time, right? But then, so I had a boy best friend and I had a girl best friend, right? So boy best friend on this side at nap time, girl best friend on this side, right? So one day I kissed the boy best friend, and then the other day I kissed the girl best friend.
Well, yeah.
Wait a minute. I like both of these things.
Like, everything is good.
So, it kind of excited me a little bit. And so I went home, and I had to be about 5 or 6, maybe. Yeah, probably about 5 or 6. I had a Cabbage Patch doll. And the face of the Cabbage Patch dolls are hard, right?
Right.
Jesus.
Look, I'm like,
Go with me.
I already know it.
So I got on the edge of the bed with the Cabbage Patch ball on the edge of the bed, and I rolled her face until I was like, oh, yeah!
With the Cabbage Patch though.
Wait a minute! That's that feeling that I want. Okay.
I'm never gonna look at Cabbage Patch dogs.
You shouldn't! I'm just saying. So, the next day, I got in trouble because I let the little boy finger me. And I said, no, do it like this. Do it like this. I'm so serious, y'all. Do it like this. And he was like, what are you doing? Just do it like this. And I'm telling you, I don't think they really knew what we was really doing, but they knew we was doing something, and I got in trouble. And my mama, kind of cussed me out a little bit. Not cussed, but told me off a little bit. Yeah. So that kind of put me in the mindset that rubbing yourself and touching yourself was bad, and I had to sneak to do it instead of doing it.
What's happen? It'll never be the same.
My next question: are you guys in a relationship right now?
Pending.
Oh,
Just say pending.
did you say pending?
Yeah.
What makes it pending?
I mean, just going through some personal issues and stuff. Everybody growing, trying to maintain healthy mental states more than anything. So, kind of involved with the same person, but it's not like a title behind it. We'll put it that way.
No title, no labels.
Yeah,
Okay,
title.
all right. So kind of like a situation.
Just a situationship kind of thing.
Friends with benefits.
Yeah,
Still
that
got
kind
the
of
benefits, right?
man. Say. I'm trying to get some benefits, but it is. I tried.
Y'all single, or dating?
So I don't even know if you would call it dating. We're probably just talking, I guess you would say it now, but probably for about 2 months almost. But he's from Memphis, so that long distance
That's
kind
1
of
year
thing.
gay time.
Right.
That's a whole year.
Right.
Gay
It's a
time.
whole relationship.
We gonna talk about that?
But yeah, like he's cool, like really consistent, and that's what I look for. So
Right.
consistency is important for me. So
Consistency is everything.
yes,
I'm
it
surprised
really
y'all
is.
ain't moved different states.
I love why you still with it. Like, this is normal stuff.
Mhm.
Right.
But see, the older that I've gotten, the more I'm like, you know, I'm good. Let's hold out for a minute because I
Right.
done did the moving
gotta see
thing.
your
and-
other side.
Right.
But why is that though? Because you notice that I've noticed with a lot of my gay and lesbian friends, why is that time so fast? Like, especially, man, my girlfriend, she was talking to a girl for like 2 weeks, and then was like, okay, we're gonna have kids together, and we're gonna die.
And see, and that's the thing with like gay people. Gay people are so big into trying to get like the heterosexual like relationship
That's true.
that they are like in a rush to get it, and then they broke up in 3 months.
And then
So,
it's like, you know, feelings flapping in the breeze. And
Yeah.
you don't want to create all them toxic.
and then everybody start cheating. So
What?
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, very true.
What about you,
What about me?
you single dating something?
I'm unavailable. I mean, I'm saying
Sound like me.
I'm unavailable.
So we got a situation going.
Nah, it's really, you know, trying to focus on myself right now and build myself, you know what I'm saying? I ain't giving out no cookies, so if I get none, I ain't taking none of that.
What?
Yeah.
Man.
You ain't taking none?
I ain't taking none, you know.
Shut the front door, the back and the side.
Look, that way.
So we've talked about how you discovered that you liked women and men. So how did you come out?
Okay.
We need more time.
I think I came out like a few times actually.
But it's an ongoing process, though.
It is. So I think when like around my teens, I had an aunt that caught a phone conversation. So she asked some questions, and then.
What was that conversation like, Dad?
What? Listen, it was a really good conversation. I have an attraction for older guys. So this was an older guy that was from the community that probably should not have been whatever. So we're not gonna go too far into that. Candace actually outed me the second time on my 21st. Listen. On my 21st birthday, we had a blast. It was the best time in life. All of my friends got together. We had like a good time, and we went to this guy, one of our friends, DJ, his house, and this guy that I liked at the time, he ended up kissing me, and they got a picture of it and posted it, and at that time I was not out
like,
to
I'm not
everybody.
really.
So that was the second time. The third time is just, you know, normal me talking to my family and those kind of things. So
But wait, go back to the family though. How did they react?
So I did that in spurts too. So I told my cousin first, and she was like, "Oh, I already knew that." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." I told my brother only because he was coming to visit, and at that time I was in a full-on relationship staying with the guy and everything. So I was like, I gotta tell him because he's about to come stay. And then I told my mom, and she was like, well, you know what? You're grown. You can do what you want to do. So.
Well, so does anybody in your family have an adverse reaction?
So, I'm from East Texas. The population in my hometown is about 2,500 people. So, yeah, my grandparents are very religious, church-going people. So when I told them, that was the hardest thing ever in life to do. I actually told them via a letter because I couldn't tell them in person. And she called me on Sunday like she normally does, and she was just having a normal conversation. So I didn't think she got the letter. End of the conversation, oh, I got your letter. Okay. So what did you think? And she was like, you know what? I don't agree with it. It's not really, my thing. But if it's what makes you happy, you're grown. You do what you want to do. I'm going to support you. And since then, she's been supporting me. So.
That's awesome because the grandparent,
listen,
especially them old school.
Right, exactly.
In the name, I ain't gonna try to call you by your real name, child. Cookie.
I was forced out. I was at school, and I picked a couple of friends up before school, and we decided to smoke weed, and from there, I went to school, and one of my teachers smelled weed on me. Long story short, I ended up having my car searched at school. It was like a really bad situation. I was just messed up. And my mom and dad decided to go through all my stuff in my room, and they found so many letters. Yeah, it was brutal. And my sister rescued me. Of course, you know who my sister is. She rescued me, and I went and stayed with her for a little while. And I think when I got a little older, I was dating someone. They were like, well, why do you get to meet my parents and I don't get to meet yours? And I'm like, I'll take you over there, but I didn't get no love. I know they ain't finna show the love to the outside person, but she came.
Knowing who your sister is, though. Hold on, wait. Knowing who your sister is. Her sister happens to be my best friend. Knowing who your sister is.
Yeah, my sister's a minister. So, yeah, it was real around there. So she rescued me, but she didn't rescue me. They took my phone, my car, made me quit my job. It was real dramatic. And when I brought that girl that I was dating to the house, they ripped her to shreds, and she walked out crying. And I think, you know what, I stopped talking to my parents for about a year, and everybody was like really bothered by it. And I think it just kind of like faded out, like, don't talk about it. And then when my dad died, my mom just kind of, okay, I love my kids, whatever, you know, it takes for us to keep this bond. But if he was alive, it probably would still be pretty bad. Because my family is super religious, and we just don't see eye to eye on a lot of stuff with religious-wise. So, if he was alive, it wouldn't have been. But that coming out stuff is, people need support for that. And like if I was younger, when you get older, you're good. But when you're younger, coming up, you don't have the different support, it makes it hard.
Right.
And you don't get to, be yourself. So when you become an adult, and you gotta get that comfortability. So now I'm like, probably, I'm not gonna say out of control, but I just tell my mama whatever now. And she just be like, hold on, wait. Like, I ain't got nobody else to talk to. You gotta know everything, because I don't want to tell nobody my business. But like now, it's like, that's my rock now. So I talk to her about everything. But before, that coming out stuff is definitely.
So you said you were kind of estranged, because I remember all this.
You were around. I know you know.
Yeah, because I know the other side.
Right.
But so, what's the difference in? So you said about a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's probably about right. About a year.
Yeah, about a
that
year.
You really didn't talk to your family, right?
At all.
So what was your support system? How did that work?
I've always been a grinder and a go-getter. Like, I support myself. I went and I got my own apartment with my girlfriend and we thugged it. And we made it work. And I didn't come ask for no help. That was like pride.
Right.
But it, it worked out. My brother ended up making me come to the house to do something one day, and next thing I know, one thing led to another, and everybody was just talking like nothing had never happened. And it just kind of flowed right through, and that's kind of a problem with black people. We don't talk about stuff. It just kind of flowed out. So now, you have to deal with those issues as an adult. So it's easier now, but with my dad being gone, it's like he don't really know who I am. So that's all.
That's gotta be hard.
Yeah, of course, but I mean, overall, he was a great dad. He did what he could. Of course, he was a great dad, but just not in this situation. I'm not see nobody.
So what about you, Layla?
So I got two separate. One was with the family, and then the other one was school. So, like I said, I grew up. I've always been tomboyish, basketball shorts. Before I got breasts, I was walking around with no shirts on. That was me. So family, they already knew. They didn't think nothing, but my mom was in denial for a long time. So I was in 7th grade, and I got in trouble with something. She ended up taking my phone, and she started reading some messages. So then she took me downstairs. She's like, "What is this?" And I had already knew she was talking about, because when I was on the bus, I was texting this girl, and she would send me pictures of her in the bathtub and all this other stuff. So I knew exactly what she was talking about. But you play stupid, like, what are you talking about? And so, she kind of flipped out. She was like, we're gonna go to therapy, and then she started asking, did somebody touch you? All some extra stuff, and I'm like, nah, like, it's just me. So after a while, she was in denial for a really, really long time, but then eventually she eased through. Like now, we go shopping for boy clothes. Like she know for a fact. Don't send me to the girl section. She already know. We going straight up there, and if she really like it, she'll buy it for me. She bought me boxes, all that now. So it's
Wow.
She cool. Like I talk to her about a lot of stuff. I'm talking about relationships, all that, and that's been for years now. So
Wow.
yeah.
It's so funny, like the stereotypes, because you said something like when I told my mom, the first thing she asked me, "Are you okay? Like, are you sick?" And I'm like, "No, I'm fine." What do you mean?
Nobody did anything.
So going with that, because you said therapy, and that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about. So a lot of my friends were like, "Well, that's the first thing that my parents asked me. Do I need to take you to therapy?
Yeah.
So you're homosexual now. So, but how do y'all feel about that word, homosexual? A lot of my friends don't like it, but I'm gonna ask y'all how y'all feel.
I don't really care for it, but I don't really. I mean, if somebody say it, I'm just be like, okay. It's just, I think the way that people use it is just so, now that people kind of gotten sensitive to a lot of words because the way people, tone in them.
Yeah.
So
Hence LGBTQ.
Right.
Q.
Yeah.
Because that Q was added on there.
Yeah, definitely was added
For
on.
that reason.
Right.
And then, because it used to be just LBG. And then LGBT. I mean, so I'm just wondering what other words we're going to add on to that, because we're trying to be so sensitive to those things.
Right.
But like one of my friends said, she felt like that word homosexual was like we had a disease. Like, because you're bi, because you're lesbian, because you're gay, you just have a disease. Something's wrong with you. Something's got to be wrong with
right. People act like it's a mental disorder or something.
They used to say that back in the day.
Right. They used to say all of that.
And it's I mean, to this day, people, still act like,
Yeah.
it's a disease. Like, I know when we were growing up, people would be like, such and such across the street, she be messing with women, and you just kind of felt like, dang, so I need to be quiet. Like, hold on, let me not tell nobody what I got going on. Yeah.
So, I feel like there is a lot is strength in numbers, and I feel like the rainbow community has a lot of that. So, how do you guys feel about that? The bond that's created between, because I feel like there's a different bond sometimes with certain groups. How do you think? Because I saw your face. I think there's a different bond sometimes. I think there's a catty bond.
Yeah, it's definitely, people in the community, they definitely will feel some type of way about you before they even meet you.
Yeah.
Like just by looking at you, or it could be who you associate yourself with. You know, they'll be like, oh, well, I don't fool with them because, you know, they associate with that person, or I don't like the way she carry herself, so I ain't associating with her. You know what I'm saying? And then they get to know you, and they all the way up your ass all
Right.
you know, it's like, boy, y'all something else. But yes, it's definitely you got the group that, you know, will support you and want to do everything for you, and then you got the other group that's gonna they'll act like they supporting you, but behind your back they bashing you.
I think that's every community.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's every community, because I think like for me, when I first like physically started coming out, like I had a group of friends that I hung around with, and we considered ourselves, I guess, a gay family, which is very popular in gay community. So they were kind of the people that supported me through like helping me, you know, like go out and get used to the community. So yeah.
So what's popping in Dallas? What's popping in the DFW area for our?
I mean, it's I'm not gonna say our community is dead, but it's not as vibrant as it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think now people are more consumed with images and popularity versus like what is actually good for our community within ourselves. People tend to go to Cedar Springs, but that's not really, you know, catered to us. And in the places that we don't really get to be ourselves in.
Do you mean catered to us as in blacks?
As in blacks.
Okay.
It's predominantly white down there. Like you can go and they're not gonna treat you like, you know, like you're trash or anything, but you know, you just kind of want to, you know, stay connected to your roots and stuff too. Yeah. So it's kind of hard for the black people in the gay community. We create a lot of competition and a lot of just barriers that don't have to be there. And I think that when I was growing up and we were meeting each other and finding out we were gay, it was kind of like, hey, well, I am too, we can be friends kind of thing. Versus now it's like, oh, we can be friends, but like at the same time, like we not really stabbing, you know what I'm saying? And like she said, to kind of feed off of that, now I have a lot of positive gay friends in the community too. Not speaking just completely bad on us, but it's so many bad eggs that, you know, it just kind of creates a rough edge for Dallas gay community versus, you know, a lot of us go out of town to Pride versus going to our own Pride. We go to Atlanta, Houston, California, San Francisco, but like our Pride is just not the same. We only get a program that's not predominantly for us.
And let me ask this question, because I think Daz and I was kind of talking about this a little bit. I think it's a lot different for our white LGBTQ versus our black, and I think all over, but especially here because we're in the Bible Belt and we are judged immediately.
That's right.
Yeah. And I think like we've kind of followed that same stereotype, because when I think about Dallas, when I first came out and started going out, Dallas was where you went as far as like the southern area. Dallas was where you went. I would go to Joe's on Tuesdays, Elm and Pearl on Fridays, the Brick on Saturdays, Elm and Pearl again on Sundays for the drag show, Sue Ellen's, all of those places we used to go to, but those places are not even open now because like I think the black gay community, we don't support each other enough. So, you know.
Absolutely agree with that.
It's literally one pop-in club on Sundays, and I honestly say, it used to be Tequila's, but now it's Deja Vu. And then when I say you gonna walk in there, you gonna see colored people all through there. For sure. Like that's true. That's the one club. That's
about all we have.
That's it.
Though.
Yeah.
That's it.
Me and her are actually collabing with another friend right now to throw a big yacht party. We threw one a couple of years ago that went good because we was just like, we just want to add something different, you know, get people out the normal stuff and just going to the clubs or just hanging out in the bars and stuff, just kind of create a more solid networking with people. You know, it's people who have different businesses and stuff, and just kind of like, we don't always have to be against each other.
Right.
Yeah, just kind of making a good networking event, you know what I'm saying? And getting people to come out and be themselves and feel like they're amongst, you know, people who are like them, who understand. So
right. So what about our cross dressers and our drag queens? Is there any place good for them to go on the show out and be like?
I would say Deja Vu.
Deja Vu.
Marty's on Saturday, Deja Vu on Sunday.
See, I gotta write these down.
I think they have the Brick House Lounge as well. I know they used to do a lot of drag shows there. I'm not quite sure if they still do them there, but the Brick House Lounge, I know a few months ago that's what they were doing up there. They're actually really fun to watch too. They real fun to watch.
Cause like I'm a fan of like RuPaul and all the
drag.
I'd be like, ooh, he can do his makeup way better than I can.
I need
Girl,
to
give me some tips.
Yeah, they definitely still have the shows.
That's right.
So let me ask this question. I gotta ask this question because I got my people on the show. How y'all feel about this Jussie Smollett thing?
He gave us an A a little bit, but I understand. I
don't know. I'm kind of on my boy's side. I
understand what he's saying. So he could have been. He totally could have went about it a different way, and we already got enough static with police as a black community that we should not be involved in certain things. So he kind of put us in a bad spotlight. It's like we keep having to reset. Every time we get closer to, we think we're getting to the finish line, we reset when stuff like that happens. Yeah. So he kind of took, like, we already questioned about our word and our integrity anyway. So you just made it that much harder on not only men, but gay black men in the gay community as a whole. So, like, I mean.
Because I thought he was going to be such a positive voice. And then, what you doing with your life? I don't understand. What made you feel like you needed to do that?
He said it was a money thing about the show, which I understand you do want to get paid what you work. I completely get that.
It's a better way to do it, though.
It's a better way to do it.
That's what,
that was like, man, we got a hard enough time.
Yeah.
We don't need any more stones dropped on our back.
Right.
And he dropped a stone on our back.
Absolutely.
So
a little lighter note, people. Let me ask this question. So, what's been your freakiest thing that you've done? Freakiest.
The freakiest. Damn, that's hard.
Freakiest.
That's hard. I don't even know.
Freakiest.
I don't know about the freakiest, but me, I like to be adventurous, so I don't like to just have sex in my house. So I have sex outside of my house. My ex used to work at Neiman Marcus, so I've had sex right behind the Neiman Marcus building. I've had sex on the patio of my godparents' house. So I think I'm adventurous that way. So I wouldn't say that's totally freaky, but
the situation, it's just being like we ain't supposed to be doing it.
Right.
Okay.
The thrill of it.
Yes.
What about y'all? Come on. Freakiest.
You want to go first?
I gotta think on that.
Okay. I've fingered and kind of made out on somebody's front porch while their parents are there.
Oh shit!
But just like, you sure they're not gonna come outside? And probably like some parks and stuff like that. But I would say bondage is probably like my top. I don't like to be tied down, but I like to tie down. Like I'm not like but I like bondage.
On Bedroom Candy's line, which is, a BK reference.
Look, I need to get something.
We have some bondage stuff. We have a paddle. We have a flogger. And we have suspense, which is a swing. My bad.
Bring it back.
Like, hold on, I got lost.
We have this thing called Play With Me where you put it around your neck and then the straps go up and you can,
Man.
They can't go anywhere.
What's the website?
At all.
What's the website?
Bedroom Candy by CandyJ.com. We'll get all of this. Okay. Listen. So, going with the freakiest, so you said you like ass play. So, This little thing right here. It's called thrust. Has about 7 different settings.
Oh, okay. I feel it. Okay.
But
How do you set the settings?
oh, you press the
Press the
button at the
button.
bottom.
Oh,
Yeah.
y'all hear that?
So let me tell you, like, I like double penetration, but not with 2 men, of course.
It's throbbing.
Could be 2 women. But you put that in your ass, and then you get that strap on, or you get him, and you go in. It's that double penetration is wonderful.
It's a leaving.
Well, you can't leave it in like a missionary now. No, really, actually, it feels really good. It stays there. It stays.
She's like, nah, I
It
know.
really does. And then here's my other favorite. Here go my other favorite.
What?
Strap on.
They make them.
So for those people that are watching and don't know what this is, so this person goes into the person that is giving, and this goes into the receiver. This is for clitoral stimulation. This little handy dandy button is the vibrator. So it's meant to have that, you can pass it. It's meant to have that clit to clit type fun.
Oh, that's
So
close and
much.
personal.
It
That's
feels
awesome.
really good. It has a nice girth to it. Yes.
It's like the girl.
Yes. Very nice girth to it. But, so, have you guys used some of these types of toys? What do you feel like you're good at sexually? What do you feel like you're good at sexually? Come on now, I know you're good at something.
Giving and receiving.
Oh.
Yeah,
But so tell us how you get to that point though, because there's an art to all of this shit.
like foreplay. Yeah.
There's an art to this shit.
It depends. Like if it's in a minute, it ain't no
little floor play.
Look, it ain't no foreplay. We get straight to it. I get straight to it.
There's but when you have a flow, how you doing it? Because everybody's a little different.
I mean, typically, you know, I'm a kisser. I'm a licker. So, I mean, I'm starting at the top. I'm working my way all the way down. Talking about every inch, every crease, all that.
So, you doing all this, and is this a person that you're with, or just it can be anybody?
Hell no. I ain't getting all that. Anybody. You ain't, hey, look, you ain't finna follow me. Real, nah. No, that's the person I'm with. That's the person that I gotta be in love with you. Do all that.
So let me ask these questions to y'all two first before I go to my next question, because I have a follow up for that. What about you?
I'm gonna get straight to it type person. I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably pretty aggressive bedroom wise, so I'm kind of like, you know, just come on with it. And I'm a kisser too. I like just being in control and making people kind of move around the way I want them to, just different stuff like that. And I think it creates better pleasure when it's like just not that basic, ordinary stuff. You know what I'm saying? That we see every day.
It's boring.
Yeah, like I'm like, yeah, you get on top, all that rock face, all that.
I really don't like to ride a body face.
What?
I don't enjoy it.
What? They did it right.
No, I mean, but I want to lay back. I maybe it's that selfish. I just want to lay back and take it.
Oh, she was like, I want to do that.
I mean, I'm a thrust up, but I want to lay back and take it.
Yeah, we can feel our princess moves sometimes.
Well, then I guess I'm and I don't want to do nothing else while I'm doing it either.
Oh, man.
It's not for me.
What?
Let me take that back.
69 is bomb.
I like 69 if it's a girl. I don't like 69 if it's a man.
Well, I ain't did the other one, so girl one is definitely. Yeah, it's definitely the shit.
What about you?
And
Tess?
see, I guess I'm totally different. I need that foreplay. Like I need you to.
You know?
Like, get it wet. Like, let me get it wet before you start doing all of that. Because ass, I mean, that hurts. So you got to get everything ready and lubed up.
Like, it gotta
Doesn't have to.
Well, I mean, it depends on what the type of guy that you have. Girth is that I don't want. That's too much. That's too much. Give me a good 8, maybe 7, and I'm good with that.
No.
So
listen. So when my guy friend bought this for me for demonstrations for my parties, he also bought one for me to use at home. Okay.
He mom.
And it's stuck to the.
I care about your inside.
But so you put a little lube on him, and this happens to be our chocolate lube, and I'll pass this around. But you put a little lube on him, and you push out like you would push it, like you take the shit, and you just let the head slide slowly, and it don't hurt though. Slide.
Oh, you done became a pro to this.
She's trying to give you the demonstration.
just slide. But I mean, if you got somebody going,
listen, that is the quickest way to get kicked out. No.
No. And I don't even, at this point, I don't need to be lubed because juicy pussy. But for those people that need,
we just gonna skip over that. Okay.
I'm just saying. For those people that need lube is your friend.
Right.
But see, no, so I don't use lube a lot because long as you let me sit on your face for about 5-10 minutes and then we good.
Feeling is everything.
Yeah.
It's everything ready.
That's why I was like, I'm surprised that you don't do it. I have to.
Let's get everything ready.
Lube to me sometimes gets dry, and okay, maybe I'm using the wrong one.
Water-based lube does not get dry. Our silicone lube, and it's not.
The water-based lube is healthier too.
Water-based lubes are healthier, but we have a silk, like a hybrid of silicone and water-based, and it one drop, and you good all the way. But I need the lube. Hold on, I'm gonna show you something for y'all. Okay, I'll show you something for y'all. Okay. Give me this lube.
Look, I was trying.
So we don't have this on our line. He just comes with me for demonstrations. But this one, he's called.
What is that?
What's that? Like, what is that?
Let's get ready to rumble. Oh, sorry. That's the name of this product.
I feel like
it's called
I'm
Ready to Rumble.
I feel boring now.
What was that? Oh. Okay, cool beans. So you put a little lube in him, and he has a vibrator inside of him.
Okay.
Oh, it's juicy. But you.
He too big for that.
He's not too big for it all. It's just the lube has to get to where it needs to go. So, and he's
It's kind of like a pocket pussy.
yes, it is a pocket. And and this flips over, and you can get all the ridges. See, and he juicy. So the vibrator is coming out. But I'm gonna pass this to you so you can feel that. It feels really good.
Oh, it's vibrating too.
It's already vibrating. You see how quiet it is, right? Yeah, it's all kinds of
I'm
quiet.
gonna need a grip for this.
A good grip, and I like
You gotta have strong hands.
Right. And what's the name coming out and everything?
Right.
Oh, that is a good lube.
Yes, I told you it's a good lube.
I don't need
No,
it.
I'm sorry. We don't want to pass that around to that side over there.
They don't really need it. But here's something that you do need, though. It's called Sweet on Me.
Oh, what
It's a clitoral stimulation gel, but it can also be used on the head of his penis. Buttercream icing and orange dreamsicle. Just take a little drop. Yeah, take a little, push a little drop on your finger and taste it. It works in about 60 to 90 seconds, but you can be given that good wow. It's beginning to work.
You said you can taste this?
Yes, go ahead and taste it. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good.
this is good.
Yeah. So those of us that like to give head and receive head.
What is mine? Yeah,
So let me ask you: do you think that you guys are pussy and dick connoisseurs by now? Giving head by now. We're giving
I mean,
head by now.
I've never received any complaints, so that's what I base myself on. That's all.
So does it go both ways for you, or do you not like it?
Hell yeah,
Okay,
both ways.
You don't know because you got. I have friends that don't want it. So, you know.
Yeah, no, I can't fuck with no film like that.
And so for me, I like to suck dick. I just don't like to get my dick sucked. Like, I hate that. Eat my ass all day, but no, don't touch that. Yeah, I want that. I guess I'm a true bottom. Yeah, don't touch that. Like, he's fine. Don't touch that. Let me handle him. And you handle everything back there.
Wait, what? Mm-hmm. Oh my! Now, there's not too many people I come across on that note either. Because most of the men, the gay men that I've met, they want it too.
Really?
They want both. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't need you to touch that area. I'm good. I'm good on that area.
At least the sucking part, yeah. But identify whatever you identify. It's good. Interesting. Because I can't imagine myself not wanting to get licked or be licked or eat that ass.
I mean, you can eat the ass all day. I just don't want you to touch that front part.
And then I have females that don't like their breast sucked.
Yeah, I'm not with that.
You gonna suck these things?
I'm still trying to get there. I'm like, bro, wait. Taking me too fast.
But if you don't do foreplay a lot, then that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not with the, that's why I don't do foreplay, because people be trying to touch me and stuff. Be like, hold on, I'm in control.
So no fingering, no nothing?
Nah, I'm not with a finger. I done, received and stuff. It's cool from the right person, but like, I don't want nothing inserted inside. But I've never had penetration. So I'm not gonna say that I never do it, but I've never had penetration. It's not something that I've ever been like, I want that.
So no strap on, no nothing?
I get strap.
No, but you ain't got.
No.
You seem like a pleaser, so.
Yeah, I like to please. So I'm like, hey, you want this again? So, yeah.
But you don't know what you're missing either.
I mean, I'm getting there on some stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of, like I said, you know what I'm saying? I'm opening up to some stuff, but at the same time, I just like pleasing. I like kind of being the dominant person. That's why I like the bondage and stuff like that. I like being like, oh, you like that? Yeah, that's how I am.
What about you? So, strap on, dildo?
Whatever she with, I'm with.
So, both ways, though?
Yeah, both ways.
Okay, yeah. Give me a virtual.
Look, I'm a true lesbian. I'm a true versatile.
I need all of that. I mean, I can't.
Yeah.
No.
She with it, I'm with it. So.
I mean, I want to please you, but I need to be pleased.
Yes.
It goes both ways. I'm gonna give you all 100% of everything that I got, but you gon' give it to me. Oh. But the reason I asked that question, but we are running out of time. But the reason I asked that question is because on our line we have I teach educational classes as well. The undercover clitoris is all things licking and touching and rubbing and kissing and that clip. And then I teach the other class, tickle his pickle.
Word.
Like your dick so yeah, I've done it both. So
she was like, I'm good at this.
I'm good at both of these things. So I don't have. Oh, sorry, Mom, if you're watching, but I'm good at both of these goddamn things.
This is mine.
So I don't have any problems, and I'm good at it. So I think the one thing that people, and let me ask this question for y'all, the one thing that people miss is knowing how to please yourself, so that you can tell the other person how to please you.
That's right.
Because have you had any of those people?
Oh, fuck.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Oh my goodness. I've had one bad, like one that just was so horrible. I mean, I literally cheated on her the whole time we were talking. Like,
that's bad.
Man,
Yeah, that's
bad.
bad.
Like I don't know. She just, well, no, fuck that. I do know. She was being too aggressive. Like,
biting.
yeah, bro. Some instances I felt little teeth and shit. I'm just like, whoa, like. Yeah, I came. Yeah, I gotta go.
Yeah, you gotta back up.
Did you tell her?
After like a year and a half, yeah.
How you
So she'll start doing this to
She
somebody
stopped
else.
doing that.
Yeah, after like
You got
a year
out
and
here
a
biting
half,
on people.
I told her.
Why you wait so long?
Cause I mean, she wasn't the only person I was dealing with, so I ain't really too much. I wasn't just like,
Next.
yeah. Then I started actually liking her, so I was like, alright, you know what? I'm gonna go and tell you.
Oh damn! I can't wait that long because 3 strikes you out. I'm gonna tell you. I had a person that always bit, bit. That first time I was like, "What is wrong with you? Why are you doing
Like, bit
this to
down
me?"
there?
Yes. Bit the hood, bit the clit, bit the lips.
Yeah, they think they suck it.
And I don't mind you biting the lips a little bit, just a little nibble, but not full on.
He was hungry.
And it wasn't a he.
Oh, she was hungry.
But I'm just saying, what is wrong with it? Why would you? Have you had a bad experience?
Honestly, I don't think I've ever had a bad experience. I think everybody has been good.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Listen, I pick them good.
That's rare.
Now
though.
they may not be that mentally and all of those things, but sexually, I pick them very well. So I don't think I've ever had anyone that was just horrible. Maybe I had to teach you a couple of things, but besides, I mean, you've been pretty good, pretty decent.
Oh my goodness.
Lucky.
Right.
Listen,
So lucky.
I do it very
Super
well.
So let me ask this: have y'all met anybody that didn't have your sexual drive though?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
How did you handle it though?
Oh man, I did.
We're not together anymore.
Yeah.
For me, I have a high sexual drive, and anybody with me, you have to have that same drive. If it's not, if we're not having sex, then we're doing something. I don't care what we do, but we're gonna do something. I need to get a nut.
I'm glad I'm not
So,
yeah.
I think I feel the same way because that's why one of the reasons why my ex-husband and I are not together anymore.
Damn.
Because my sex drive is
It's a
here,
spoiler, yeah.
and my freakiness level is here, and so those gotta kind of match somewhere. But I mean.
I think that people just don't have open conversations when it comes to sex. Because I feel like people who like rough shit. You know what I'm saying? They want that extra, like, but then you got people who extra sensitive and they be like, oh, just, go slower. And I be like, oh, man. Okay.
Well, it's been such a good conversation.
That was quick.
I'm so happy that you guys came on. Let's see. Next Sunday we have talking to your kids about sex. So I think that's going to be an awesome show. No, actually, I'm sorry. That's the Sunday afterwards. Oh, we have a pure marriage. The people were virgins. Well, one of the people were virgins when they got married. So that's a whole nother ball game, right? So I'm looking forward to that conversation. Just like I was looking forward to this one. We've been off the chain tonight. But this has been your girl, Candy J, wishing you love-filled days and orgasmic nights. Have a great day.
Yeah.